let's see here. Let me see if I'm back. Okay. Let's see. Am I back now, guys? Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Maybe? Yeah, I'm back. Okay. So and now it's playing weird. What the hell? Oh my god! Hold on. No, no, no. All of you that know, you're not coming up in the studio unless I asked you. Hold I see what's happening. There we go. Okay. I didn't cut my hair. It's the stupid. It's the thing that's the thing behind me. No, stop requesting, please. I'm just gonna kick you out. These guys. No. Hey, Starlight, how are you, baby? I can't hear you, hun. Oh, there. Stage. There we go.
There we go. I was just trying to help you real quick.
Okay, I did it. Look at me.
So what happened was, there's feedback.
Hold on. Let me mute her mic. Okay, go ahead.
YouTube's not going to let you play that. They pick up on it and they'll,
Right.
your stream when it does that, if you don't end it and you sit there for about a minute or two, your stream would come back. Just so you know, if it happens again, because it's happened to me before.
You really think that you're doing something coming in here saying Fancy the fraud, and I'm going to let you be in here? You know what? You're going to get banned from the studio. You don't even get kicked. You're absolutely ridiculous. Like literally fucking ridiculous. Sorry, Starlight.
It's okay.
Like, are we serious? No one said for you to freaking request a box, and then somebody who's Francie is a fraud is going to request my box. Y'all think I'm
okay? Well, at least it wasn't a peen, okay? Because that can happen too.
So stupid. They're so ridiculous. This is what they did to us yesterday when we tried to do a live with you yesterday.
Oh yeah. They were coming in my backstage too.
So dumb. Like, what do you think you're doing? What do you think you're accomplishing? This is a woman who was talking about my miscarriage from 25, 30 years ago, and you all are supporting her. And you don't even have the right details, and you all want to come over here and start some bullshit.
It's none of their business.
While I'm trying to play my documentary. You guys are just so sweet. Fucking dumb. Hi, Starlight. Welcome to the panel.
Hello. You're not going to be able to play it, though. Not on YouTube.
Okay. Well, it's on YouTube. Mm-hmm. You guys can go watch it. I can play it in my Patreon.
Yes, you can. You can stream it, I think.
Go ahead. What?
I think you can do it on not TikTok, sorry, on what is it called? I don't ever get Twitch. I think you can do it on Kick or Rumble.
I can do it in Patreon though, where I can do a
yes, for sure. You can do it there.
You can do it in there.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you what. This is the way it's gonna go right now. If one more person has to hit this box, I will end this, and no one will ever be allowed in the box ever again, because you were not invited to the box and you know it. Stop right now.
Just block them.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to literally kick them from the. It's going to ban you. If you don't want to be banned, don't freaking ask for the box. So, Starlight, what do you think of what Sarah and I have talked about today? Since we're going to recap.
Well, I missed a lot of it because I was driving. So I need to go back and listen. But it was was it about Dan?
It was. What are your thoughts on Dan?
Oh, well. it depends. I think Dan was a huge catalyst. So it depends on which part you're talking about. Because I know a lot of people think Dan had something to do with the schmurder. I haven't like wrapped my head
Yeah.
around
So,
that
what are
one.
your thoughts on that? Because I know we've talked about it a little bit, and I know that you don't see it the same way I do, and that Sarah and I have talked about. So, what are your thoughts on that? What keeps you from thinking that Dan could be involved?
Because I don't know what he would be needed for. I think if she would have needed Dan to do it, then why would she need Nick to do it?
To take the fall so that Dan and her could be together.
But she could have done that just by leaving.
No. Well, because no, she thought that if she just left, her mom would turn her in for the fraud, and she would do life for the fraud, and she would have.
Mm-hmm.
So
and sometimes I wonder if she used Nick as a way to make Dan jealous because she seems to like to do things like that.
I think she used both that way.
Yes, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
it's just weird. And for Nick to say in his interrogation, the one person he'll never apologize to is Dan. And that's
why
tomorrow, when he's supposed to do that video, I'm hoping it's about Dan.
I don't know, Sarah. What do you think he's gonna? I mean, because we talked about the fact that it's just gonna be. Have you seen the newest little clip that they put out, Starlight, of what they're saying it's gonna be and not be and all that? Have you seen the little video they put out?
The ones from earlier today?
Yes. It's a video. It's a few minutes.
Yes, I saw that.
I don't think he's gonna spill the beans at all. Jody,
he's
always last time. That's it.
Like,
you're done.
He's literally, honestly, I believe that he is not going to expose anything or anyone. I believe that it's just going to be a video where people can kind of get to know him, and he can humanize himself and show people that he is not the monster he's been portrayed as.
Right.
So you think it's just going to be, hi, my name is Nick, and
yeah, because if you've ever watched his other videos,
now they're saying it doesn't necessarily mean it's an interview or anything.
No, I don't think it's an interview.
No, if you've ever watched, he had a YouTube channel when he was younger, before he met Gypsy. And he would post like his favorite music videos, and he would post his favorite bands, and he would post music that he liked, and he'd go into these in-depth conversations about the music and things like that. And I believe that tomorrow is going to be something along those lines.
I don't know why YouTube would have gone off again. I'm not following anything. That's what they're saying.
Let me check.
But there's still people commenting, so I don't know how that would happen. I think it's still going.
No, yeah, it's still going.
Still going. I mean, yeah, and that's where I think it is. But with Dan, I mean, I really think there's a possibility. And I can see where you're coming from of saying, why would he be necessary? But for her and Dan, we all know she wasn't just going to walk out of there. That wasn't what she wanted. She knew she needed to unalive her mother. She knew she needed to kill her. That's what she knew, right? So she was very determined to do that for 3 years. And we have told you guys before, she asked other people. I think she asked Dan. I think he and her came up with the plan. And it was always supposed to be Nick as a patsy.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened 2 days before that. But that's when I actually think that DeeDee might have died. And that I can see being the Dan situation. Now, I think that Dan and Gypsy could have literally come up with a plan to kill DeeDee for all the money, the car, the house, the whole fucking shit and shebang. And I think it went wrong. And that's why I think that Dan is involved. I think that there's a good, distinct possibility that he is involved. And I think
why would she leave her home, a brand new vehicle, $15,000 worth of cash, and numerous checks in the safe if she did not plan on coming back?
Right.
See, that's what I think. This bunny person got Nick to do the crime. That way she could get away with it to be with Dan.
Right.
Yes.
But I mean, I think that
That's
Dan
why she didn't have a bus
going
ticket.
on. Right. But I think Dan was part of that. I mean, I really do. And if we had the text messages between her and anyone, which we don't, because they were shut down because, you know, she took her fucking sweet ass plea deal, we would know more of what went on between her and other men. You know?
And Sunshine, you mentioned that, you know, what Nick said in the interrogation to himself, that he would apologize to everybody except for Dan. I'm not sure if you also saw the clip. I sent it to Fancy, but she has not posted it yet that I'm aware of. But he's also speaking to himself, saying that and this is his quote, I saw Gypsy's friend Dan text her and I saw the message. And we need to get that clip out.
Yeah. I know. I need to get that one out. I definitely need to get that one. There is no evidence of Dan being at the house, though, and Nick's description of events is pretty convincing. I'm not saying that Nick's description of events isn't convincing. I'm not saying that Nick's description of events didn't happen, because it definitely could have. DeeDee could both be unalived already when Nick came in and put 4 stabs in her, and blood would have come out because it wouldn't have been too long, and the whole thing. But I mean, there's no evidence saying that he's not there either. There's definitely reasonable doubt that the cigarette butt was never tested, so that could have been Gypsy's or his. There's that wedding ring in the middle of the floor that nobody knows what that is. There's the St. Louis hat, or the whatever.
I've never seen that. Well, I've never seen any cigarette butt in the house.
No, not in the house. There's a ring in the house. There's a cigarette butt outside.
Okay, yeah. Gotcha.
There's the tire tracks, which makes no sense whatsoever. And there's just a lot of questions.
I think if anything, like, he would have been sitting, like, maybe Dan was supposed to be outside in his car ready for Gypsy to come out the front door and get in, and they could ride off to the sunset, but something happened and he wasn't there when he was supposed to be there, so she had no choice but to go back to the hotel with Nicholas and all of that.
And Starlight, one thing that we've discussed is that, you know, Nick hasn't changed his story, and Gypsy's changed hers 1,000,001 times, and he admits to 4 stabs, but I don't believe that those 4 stabs were the ones that ended her life.
Well, no, because now the new appeal says she died from 14 stab wounds. We've had 17 before. We've had 4. We've had 27. I think at one point there was even a situation where there was one point where somebody said 60. 14 stab wounds. That's a new number for us that we've never heard before, and I think that it's really interesting.
I think the ones that were, like, really deep could have punctured a lung or something vital in there.
We talked about the handprint in the back of in her back, and that looks to me like a left hand handprint coming up like this. Which, if you had that to put it down like that, that's how it looks when she puts it down. The only other way you can stab is with the right hand, and Nick is left-handed. I mean, that to me right there is reasonable doubt. The only thing that they really convicted him on was the fact that his blood was there and that he confessed. But what if he really just thinks he did it and he didn't do it? I mean, that's it. That's all they've got. The evidence in this case is so bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway. All right, well, baby,
and also, you know, the crime scene, I mean, is so wrong. You know, there's not nearly enough blood. There's no splatter, and you can just look at the stab wounds and see which ones bled and which ones didn't bleed, and it just does not make any sense at all. You know, if her heart was pumping blood like it should have been, there would have been a massive amount with that many stab wounds. And you can see there are wounds that were done at they were done at different times, and
it definitely looks like that,
yeah, in different angles. Some bled, some didn't, you know.
That's why they need to release the autopsy report.
Well, yeah, and that's been sealed and kept from everybody by Christy. So that's always been great. All right, I wanted to show you the tire tracks though. Here, let's look at these tire tracks real quick. Because I think it's interesting. Let's see. There they are. All right, so these are the tire tracks, and there's lots of different angles here, and I don't think everybody's seen all the angles. So this is one of the angles where it's coming down. Can you see? I don't know. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yes. So you can see. Hold on. Where did I put it? Damn it. Where'd it go?
It's on the screen. I see it on the screen.
I have to go. I know. I have to go back to the tab though to flip through it. Hold on a second. There it is. Okay. So that's one of them, and then here's more of a close up of it. I don't like that. It kind of shows how deep they are, because it was muddy.
That's almost like they backed up. It's almost.
Yeah, but
there's so many different ones.
That it is. So this one's a good one. Okay, so the way I'm seeing it is, I feel like in this upper right hand corner right here, that's the or the upper left hand corner right there, whatever, that's the pavement, right? And this is the tire track on the right hand side. So if the left tire track was over here on the pavement, the left tire's over on the pavement, that would be the size of, like everybody's saying, like a dually truck. And these are two wheels here. That looks like two tire tracks, so that makes sense to me. So
wasn't there a sidewalk, or is that the street?
No, I think it's the street. Hang on, let's see. So there again, there's like another one that comes up it shows exactly where it is. So no, it's the street. And it is too far away, I guess, maybe. I don't know. It does look like there might be one up here.
Yes, it looks like one set of tires. It looks like one set of tires was in the grass and the other side was on the pavement.
I mean, would that be enough space? Or is that too far?
It's hard to tell.
I mean, it doesn't look that far away.
No, it completely looks like one set was on the pavement and the other was in the grass.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. So that's
and somebody would have really had to like accelerate pretty hard to leave those kind of marks.
And that's what I think. That's why I think that there was an altercation, and I think, there's one of the computers. I really think that there was an altercation between DeeDee and Dan and Gypsy 2 nights before. And I think that could be where these tire tracks came from. I mean, they're very clearly tire tracks. It's very clear. That's dually tracks, right? I know that Dan owned one. Who else owned one? Her father. But I can't imagine that Rod would have participated in killing DeeDee, although some people on Facebook seem to think so. But I mean, they look like dually trucks to me.
It's just weird because it looks like there's another track mark
above it
or below. I can't tell.
Like it's right here. I see it right there in the corner where the tape measure.
The brown.
Is. It looks like it's coming in that way, and it goes up and around above where the tape measure is ending there with the red part. That's where.
And the tracks would have to be like at least 4 days old or more.
Really? You think
Starlight?
So?
Well, if she was killed when she was killed, and if he was there when she was killed.
Yeah.
Starlight, I have a question for you. I don't know if you heard earlier what we were talking about is, in 2014, the movie Gone Girl came out.
Yes.
And there's a vial of Gypsy's blood supposedly in the refrigerator. Why? We have no idea. And they also said in the police reports that there were drops of her blood that were found throughout the house that were just very suspicious. Like they just shouldn't have been there. They didn't make any sense. And no, she did.
Hold on, though. I want to clear this up. No, these tracks are not from the cab driver. The cab drivers, both of them, allege that they've pulled up into the driveway and out. This is not from the cab drivers. Absolutely not. Okay, keep going.
What I was saying was that there's just the blood droplets that they found throughout the house that were Gypsy's. They say in the report, this is, not something this is not DNA that would typically be left behind just in someone's general residence. So we've got that movie that comes out, and then we have the post that nobody has put on any news channel or documentary or ever addressed in any interview, is when Gypsy posted, "And the girl is dead too."
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on the fact that the girl is dead too post on Facebook has never been explored or explained? Why would there be blood in the refrigerator? And do you think that she might have been trying to set this up as another Gone Girl? Because another thing is I don't know if you guys remember, but Gone Girl took place in Missouri as well.
Oh, I didn't know that part. I forgot about that.
Yes. Yes, it took place in Missouri
sense,
as well.
Maybe, I don't know how, like, I don't see her being smart enough to pull that off. Maybe trying to.
Starlight, no.
Why is there no documented anything about what was in that refrigerator? Because I've been wondering, and that's the first. I didn't know there was a vial of blood in there.
She's so fucking smart, though. I'm sorry. No, you don't get to. No, don't think.
No, she's smart, but I don't know if she's that good. But I can see her trying and failing, because she did try and fail. She kind of tried to pull a Gone Girl. That's why she wanted to make it
exactly
some sort of runaway or she was a missing girl that he had kidnapped her.
Right, and so she's telling the detective that Dan is texting her from another phone that she tells him about. Okay, and she says that Dan was texting her. Nick says that he saw the text message and it was weird, and then all of a sudden, all three of those text messages end up on her page. Then the third one, that is the girl is dead too, is gone before they even get to the station. And her statement is, "Oh, Dan was texting me. He must have told me he must have been trying to warn me about some Facebook messages. I think those Facebook messages he was giving her to tell her to put them up there. And that third one, she put it up and the cops came so soon, she didn't have a chance to get out of there, probably because Nick was asking her, please stay, do this, whatever, and I'm sure she just didn't get out of there fast enough. And when
that's what I'm wondering.
If
the Facebook
standing outside in a standoff with him, she's still inside hiding in the closet, and that text message disappears.
Right, and the plotting, or whatever you want to call it, the plan of let's post this on Facebook so they can find my mom, blah blah blah. Maybe that was her other attempt to escape the situation, leave with Dan. He's gonna pick her up, drive off, and it didn't. She ran out of time, and the cops got there before she knew it.
Yeah.
But
I think so.
even in the message that has been spread about how, I raped her daughter and slashed her throat or whatever, it's still implying that Gypsy is deceased. So
right, which would be her perfect plan. Nick takes the fall, she's missing, presumed dead, and can go start this whole new life with Dan.
And at the interrogation, she just keeps wanting to know, like, can she go back home? Can she leave? Can she go back home? Like,
right.
She did not think she was going to get in trouble.
No.
So somebody said this about the tires. No, I don't think that it would be an ambulance tires, because then they wouldn't have taken pictures. They would have known that was the ambulance. They wouldn't have been putting markers on it and taking a tape measure and all that if it was just an ambulance that picked up DeeDee's body and carted her off, and they would have known that because they would have seen it happen. They would have known. So no, I don't.
I would have put down, Fancy, but thank you for having me up, and I'll be in the chat.
No problem, sweetheart. Appreciate it.
All right, bye.
Thank you, Starlight.
Bye. Thanks for having me.
All right, no problem. Okay, so wrapping up here, guys. Again, I cannot state enough how much reasonable doubt there is in this case. I feel like Nick has been railroaded so hard, and I feel like there's so much more. There's different types of DNA on the knife. You're right. There's so many different things. Hold on, I'm gonna mute. what's happening with you. Okay. So, I mean, there's just so many things. Why is it doing that? There's just
Okay.
so many things.
I'm back and I'm going to mute myself, okay?
Yes. Okay. Good Lord. I'm working on getting the story on TV, guys. Our network will be up within the next couple of months. We'll be on Roku, Android, Amazon, and Apple. And hopefully by then we will have at least our first episode of our documentary ready to at least preview. I'm hoping. And once that happens, then we'll have that up. And then the book we're working on. I'm also getting the podcast transcribed for a book. And I agree, Nicole. There is no way Nick should be carrying the shoulder that should be carrying this all on his back. He should not. She should have been in prison for life. I mean, 100%. And I just feel like there were so many other ways that this could have gone down. She did not have to choose this. Oh, no, that's not the right one. That's an old one. So if you want to see any killer cases, season 1, episode 6, I'm the leading expert. It is on YouTube. I've dropped a link for that. I have dropped a link for how to help us out. You can check us out at thegoodwivesnetwork.com. We have merchandise that I'm working on putting up there. There's already some up for you guys. You can follow us at Patreon, where you get all the inside information, documents from the cases that we investigate, as well as the 7 years of conversations I've had on this case with individuals attached to this case. I'm going to start doing some more rewards in there and different things. If you want to help donate to my legal fund for getting a lawyer to take these people to court for the things that they've done to me, you can help by going to buymeacoffee.com/goodwivesnet, and that will help us out. But thanks, guys, for tuning in today. I appreciate it all, and have a great one. Thanks. Bye, guys. Sarah, thank you for coming. I'm going to come off, though, because my dog's going to go crazy. So bye, y'all. Have a good one.